Now, as you know, Donald Trump got a $15 million settlement with ABC News because George Clintonopoulos, in an interview, said that Donald Trump, among other things, had been found guilty of rape. He was never charged with, let alone found guilty of rape. This was a civil lawsuit. Whole different standard of proof. More importantly, it was a defamation lawsuit. Chuck Todd, among other members of the media, hand-wringing over this, and they really are disturbed because it could mean that Trump may come after them for lying about Charlottesville, saying that he said there were good Nazis on both sides when he never said such a thing, for lying about what he said about disinfectant. Donna Brazile on Fox News said Donald Trump said drink bleach in order to deal with the COVID pandemic. He never said anything like that. Lying about Donald Trump supposedly mocking a handicapped reporter, and of course lying about the Russia collusion whole thing. So that's what these guys are concerned about. One lie after another about President Donald Trump. Here's what NBC's Chuck Todd said, number 9.
This was stunning to me and absolutely a gut punch to anybody that works at a major media company, because I think it sets a precedent that is going to be very difficult. It's going to be very difficult to get out from under potentially. I just, I think the risk of losing this suit was 5%.
The risk of losing this suit was 5%. No, it wasn't. I'll tell you why. Throughout that interview, the 10-minute interview with Nancy Mace, the first 6 minutes of it had to do with the allegation that Donald Trump had, quote, been found liable for rape, which is what they said over and over again. In the interview, Stephanopoulos went further and said he was found guilty of rape, which is more than what most of these people have said. They've said he was found liable for rape, and that's questionable. But guilty of rape is not questionable. It is flat out false. Here again is what happened.
I still get judged for it today.
I'm asking you a very simple question.
And I answered it. You're shaming me for my political choices.
I'm asking you a question about why you endorse someone who's been found liable for rape.
It was not a criminal court. This was
a civil court.
It was a civil court. And by the way, she joked about the judgment and what she was going to do with all that money, and I find that offensive.
I'm asking you about the man
as a rape victim who's been shamed for years now because of her rape, you're trying to shame me again by asking me this political question.
You've repeated that again.
I think it's offensive. As a woman, I find it offensive. My political choices, I've endorsed the man that I believe is best for our country. It's not Joe Biden. And you looked at the dueling rallies yesterday in Georgia. Laken Riley's family was with Donald Trump. They weren't with Joe Biden. The same guy yesterday that apologized for calling her killer an illegal, who was an illegal. And here you are trying to shame a rape victim. I find it disgusting.
I mean, you keep saying I'm shaming you.
You are. The question, it is.
How is the question asking you about a presidential candidate who's
You're asking a rape victim.
We come back. Stephanopoulos says Trump was found guilty of rape, and that is why they settled. 888-971-SAGE. Now, let's finish the Stephanopoulos clip.
And there's no question about that. And you've courageously talked about that.
Because I've been raped. I think that's disgusting.
No, I'm questioning your political choices because you're supporting someone who's been found liable for rape. Actually, I'm not trying to shame you.
You are. That's exactly what you're doing.
You're not answering the question.
I think it's disgusting.
Well, you're welcome to say that, but you have to answer the question. Why are you supporting someone who's been found liable for rape?
I just answered your question.
What is the answer?
He was not found guilty in a criminal court of law. It was sexual abuse. It wasn't actually rape, by the way. And E. Jean Carroll joked about all the money she's going to get and made a mockery out of this case. And I think that's offensive. There's a reason why women don't come forward. And when you have someone who says that they're raped and they make a mockery out of this civil court judgment, it's offensive to other women. It makes it harder for other women to come forward when another woman has made a mockery of it.
You said women don't come forward because they are afraid. They are afraid because
they're judged and shamed by those who trying to shame me this morning.
They are afraid to come forward, as you said, because they are defamed by those who commit the rape. That's what Donald Trump has been found guilty of doing.
That's what Donald Trump has been found. That's what Donald Trump has been found guilty of doing. Back it up just a little bit. Let me hear that part again. That's what Donald Trump has been found guilty of doing.
They are afraid to come forward, as you said, because they are defamed by those who commit the rape. That's what Donald Trump has been found guilty of doing.
He defended himself over that and denies that it ever happened.
Okay.
But he was
good. That's what Donald Trump was found guilty of doing. That isn't even remotely true. That's why they settled. And again, considering Donald Trump's wealth, considering the damage done to his reputation, you know he has issues with women. One of the reasons is because of allegations like this. And you put it out there, CNN does, ABC does rather. Donald Trump was found guilty of doing. That's why they settled. And this CNN panel says Donald Trump is well within bounds to play this game he thinks the media is playing against him. Number 44.
Core conservatives have traditionally upheld the First Amendment in most cases where they are pressed on it. In fact, that's the whole TikTok debate right now, right? They want to go to the Supreme Court because they know that a conservative-led Supreme Court is much more likely to defend them on First Amendment grounds from a ban. And so one of the challenges Donald Trump has faced is you might bring this to a court and you might have it stacked with conservative judges, but conservative judges tend to side with the First Amendment on these types of things.
You just said he wins either way.
Well, he wins either way. I'll tell you this. Even if he loses a case, he wins because he gets to suck the wind out of the media companies he doesn't like.
I'm never going to argue that there's not common sense Republicans. I got to sit here next to this guy almost every week. I make that. We can get to that point, but I'm just saying this is classic 101 Donald Trump.
Yeah, I mean, is he trying to intimidate the media with this strategy?
I think he is well within bounds to play the game that he thinks they're playing against him, which is to lie about him, to, try to shape the narrative around him in ways that he doesn't believe are accurate. My belief is, why can't people just be precise? So look what happened to ABC. They were not precise in what they said, and you can't be so flip with this kind of serious information when we're talking about, the public affairs of our country. I mean, I've been on TV over the last several years with people who I thought were really loose with their language and how they described him. I've heard it on Pete Hegseth. I've heard it a number of times. But when it comes to Republicans, it does feel like to Republicans that imprecision and, maybe playing a little fast and loose with the edges of things is okay. And Republicans have been waiting for someone to come along and push back on just that's the way we have to do it, because we don't.
But can I just push back on that? So typically,
and
if
this
you
guy has the money, Donald Trump, to do so. Jake Tapper of CNN also not pleased about the Donald Trump lawsuit and the settlement. Thanks for watching these clips from The Larry Elder Show. If you enjoyed this content, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss a moment. More thought-provoking discussions are just a click away, so stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next one.